Hi everyone, I'm working on another new Frosty color scheme, and I thought I would just try to do a quick video, which will be a challenge, to show you a little bit of how I work this out. In the pattern, you've got lines to kind of demarcate where the upper body is from the lower body. It's not a must do, it's just something you can do. And so I will take a large flower. This isn't perfectly cut in a curve to match that, but if you lay it along those lines or move it a little bit above, move it a little bit over, you can kind of play with that placement to see what you like best. The idea is that once you peel the paper back, it becomes a fabric sticker, right? So you can move it continually as you work the collage. This is play, not work, I want to add. And so I've got some of these started, and I've removed the backing paper on some I haven't because I've been auditioning a little bit. But generally speaking, you want to peel them and work with them. When you don't, everything moves, and you have no control over the placement when it's still on the paper. They slide. So you're never going to get the placement you want. So you can evaluate color, scale, and contrast. Since I've laid a blue flower here, I want to put something on it that is going to contrast with the color. In other words, it shouldn't be blue in my mind. This is just the way I think. This is not a rule. This is fun. So you do what you like as you look at the images that you have to work with. And I do have quite a few over here to the side that I'm going to play with. I like to keep them all surrounding my collage. I try never to leave a flower that I've discarded on top of my collage because I can't see it. And I think that's generally true for most people. So to start with, I've laid down 3 big blue flowers. One of the flowers I cut off the petals to put underneath here, so I have a triangle of sorts to begin with. And then I have this really large peachy pink flower here that goes with the colors in the scarf. And if you were able to see it really closely, you can see that there's some peach tones along with this very kind of a warm red or bright coral. I'm not sure which it should go, but anyway, there's the pretty blue in this scarf too, 2 shades, dark blue and a light blue. So that's the color scheme I'm working with, is coral, pink, and blues. Maybe a little bit of turquoise and aqua if I have some of those. Sometimes those flowers are hard to find. So anyway, I'm going to show you a little bit of how I like to work, and I have another pink flower here, has the peachy tones in the middle of it. And I'm going to cut it in half. So, and then I can cut it in quarters as well, so that I can layer this where I want them. So I might audition it up here. That would mean that I have to work out these hard lines, which I could do with a variety of other flowers. For example, maybe I don't like this yellow. Maybe that's a little too distracting. But look at what happens when I audition something like this on top of it. So I get kind of a trifecta layering approach, which is kind of how I work. I think in odd numbers like 3, 1, 5, and then I like to put something in between. However, this doesn't quite solve this straight line right here, which sort of bothers me. That's just my feeling. So I might angle it so that this little tendril of red comes over that hard line. There's a little space here. I don't let that bother me whatsoever. And then I'm going to look at my next flower. It might be this one, again, one that I've cut in half, and I've saved the other half, and I can put that somewhere else. So I might try to layer it under here. Now I'm not going to take time to peel and stick these, but you can sort of see the concept. And then I'm always at the very end, well, let me back up a minute. I start with my largest flowers first. Then I work with my medium flowers. That would be this one. And then I'm going to look at small organic groupings that I've cut of little guys. They have a big impact, and they really make everything look good. If you've ever heard me teach, I'm always talking about it's the little guys that make the big guys look good. That's true in a lot of our culture. But the little guys don't need to be overlooked, because here they go. Look at how pretty they are. And you add a lot more of those throughout the collage to separate and define and add that dimension. Then you start having a cohesive look throughout your collage that makes sense to your eye and visually is very appealing. So here's a quick look at some of the other flowers I have. Excuse me. White on white or black on white, whatever. They might look good they'll look good in a lot of different places. I can put them under and over. I can put them kind of over on the side. It's got a hard line over there. I might tuck it under the scarf. It would be fun to tuck it in between the scarf to fill out his upper body, right? Kind of, he's overflowing with flowers. So that's my idea anyway. And then these other pieces of pink, I might like to layer them around this blue flower because the color story is cohesive and it's 3. So that's a short story of how I begun. That's a 5-minute video. I know it's long in the world of videos, but keep looking at your flowers, thinking about letting them overflow the collage in different ways. If you don't like the yellow, cover it up underneath there. See, I'm going to put that under there. But if you're doing that with the whole flower, you need to cut it in half. So I think it's a waste if you don't use both halves. Just like this piece down here, I cut this off the bottom. But now I'm going to use it as a place to maybe fill in with a little spot of color somewhere else against that blue. Thanks for watching. Have a great one. Happy New Year.